There's something about college dorms, the creaky pipes, the flickering hallway lights, the way shadows stretch a little too far after midnight. Thousands of students sleep just feet away from strangers, in buildings older than their grandparents, buildings with secrets buried deep in their walls. And while most students worry about midterms or missing class, some encounter something else entirely: whispers in the dark, invisible footsteps, hands that touch when no one is there. These aren't just ghost stories. These are real accounts, from real people, who all experienced the same thing in the place meant to feel safest, their dorm room, tonight. I'll share with you 3 chilling tales of haunted dorms. But be warned, after this, you may never sleep the same way again. Salem College is no ordinary school. Tucked away in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it has stood since 1772, founded by Moravian settlers who believed women deserved the same education as men. What they may not have expected is that some students would never truly leave. To this day, Salem remains the oldest female educational institution still operating as a women's college. But beneath its proud history lies something much darker and very much alive. Every year, during first-year orientation, students gather in the Maydell Amphitheater for ice cream and ghost stories. It's tradition. Upperclassmen tell tales that aren't just legends, they're warnings. They speak of the lady in white, a glowing figure in a flowing dress, seen drifting between the trees before fading into the shadows. She doesn't speak. She simply stares, then vanishes, but she's not the one you should fear. Beneath the nearby stone bridge, a dark orb pulses with malevolent energy. It floats, watching, waiting. No one knows what it is. But those who've seen it say the air turns ice cold, and an overwhelming dread fills your chest. Cluel is older than it looks. Long ago, a little girl fell to her death down an elevator shaft that's now sealed shut. At night, some hear giggling, and the quiet patter of small footsteps. Stuffed animals have gone missing from rooms, only to be found lined up neatly. Right beside the boarded-up shaft, objects move. Lights flicker. Something lingers, something young, but not at peace. Rumors say more than one child died there, but no records confirm it. Or maybe they were buried with the past on purpose. In the Granley Library, 2 students were electrocuted shortly after the building opened. Some say they screamed for hours before help arrived. Some say they're still screaming. Students claim to see 2 girls, faces twisted in pain, appearing out of nowhere, and then disappearing just as fast. In the Fine Arts Center, pianos play on their own late into the night. Doors stay locked. Lights stay off. And yet, the music continues. They say a patron died in Theater 2. Now he plays pranks on the living, tugging on hair, slamming doors, whispering names when no one else is around. On the top floor, a girl once ended her life. Some say she dragged a heavy dresser before tying the rope. Others say she dropped a jar of marbles in her final moments. Today, students on the 2nd floor hear furniture scraping across the ceiling, and marbles rolling in the dead of night. In the basement, a man in black appears. Sometimes fully formed, tall and silent. Other times, just a cloud of black smoke, hovering near the kitchen. He never speaks, but you'll feel him the moment you walk in. November 28, 1873. A 16-year-old boarder was practicing piano when her dress caught fire from a stove ember. She ran, screaming, through the single sister's house. The flames consumed her before help could arrive. She died that night. Now, between 2 and 3 a.m., students see a girl in a period dress staring out from the windows. Some believe it's her, others believe it's the spirit of someone who died when the building was once an infirmary, one of the many restless souls left behind. In Babcock's lobby hangs a portrait of Mary Babcock, daughter of tobacco magnate R.J. Reynolds. Her eyes follow you as you walk by. Students say, always greet her. Always say goodbye. To forget is to invite misfortune. Some who mocked the painting were expelled. Others failed final exams, or mysteriously overslept on the most important day of their lives. Do you believe in ghosts? Because at Salem College, belief might be the only thing keeping you safe. March, 2017. The beginning of a new semester. I was ready to start fresh after a hellish first semester filled with heartbreak, depression, and grades I'd rather not mention. My roommate and I had our beds lofted, desks underneath, just to give us more space. Even in the cold, we preferred fresh air, so we'd usually leave the window slightly open at night. But that night, I got bold. I opened the window wider. I never should have done that. I woke up sometime after midnight. The light from the hallway slipped through our cracked door. My roommate had gone to the bathroom. It was routine. Nothing unusual. I rolled onto my back, eyes half shut. That's when I felt it, the air shifted. It wasn't just the clash of cold outside and warm dorm air. No, this felt wrong. The room was heavier somehow. Like something was pressing down on it. Annoyed, I opened my eyes and looked around into the closet, the mirrors, the corners of the room. And finally, down at my feet, that's when I saw it. There was a man standing at the foot of my bed, or at least it looked like a man, and when it noticed me seeing it, it smiled not with joy, but with cruel delight. It began to move. Slowly. Deliberately. Circling the bed like a predator that had already claimed its prey. With every step, its features became clearer, more grotesque. I used to hate when people describe things as inhuman or exaggerated like some bad creepypasta from 2012. But this thing? Those words are the only ones that fit. Its skin was leathery and wrinkled, almost gray in color, like decaying parchment. Its eyes its eyes burned golden red, wild and bloodshot, like something from a nightmare. Or a Sith from Star Wars. Its head was half bald, with coarse, wiry hair sticking out at odd angles. It leaned over me, its breath hot, sour, putrid. My stomach turned. And then it smiled. Its mouth wasn't a mouth, it was a slit, a jagged zipper of teeth running from ear to ear, curved into a smile so unnatural it made my skin crawl. I wanted to scream. But I couldn't. I wanted to run. But my body refused. I told myself it was sleep paralysis. A nightmare. Nothing more, until I saw what it held in its hand, a knife, black. Jagged, it looked like something ancient, cursed, a cross between a Tibetan spirit dagger and some wicked blade from a dark fantasy. It pressed the tip of the blade against my throat. I whimpered. I prayed. I begged any god who'd listen, even though I'd never been religious a day in my life. And then light. Warm, real. Safe, I gasped and sat up. My roommate had returned, standing beside my bed, confused and concerned. He said I looked like I'd seen death. I was drenched in sweat, tears streaking down my cheeks. I asked him no, begged him to shut and lock the window. He did. He climbed back into his bunk and fell asleep. I didn't. I saw the creature only once more. I was back home, watching videos on my phone, trying to sleep. That same feeling returned, that wrong, suffocating pressure in the air. I turned off my phone and sat up. It was there, in the closet. I screamed. Louder than I ever had in my life. Blinked once. It was gone. That night, I slept in my parents' room. On the floor. And I felt no shame. I don't know what it was, but both times it appeared, the window was open. No scream. Nothing to stop it from entering, whatever it is. I believe it means harm. A friend once told me it sounded like something out of European folklore. I haven't found anything concrete yet. I just hope whatever it was never finds a way back in. I got a call at 2 a.m. It was my daughter. She was crying hysterical. There's no worse feeling as a parent than hearing your child sobbing on the other end of the phone, asking you what she should do, and not knowing how to answer. She goes to Ohio University in Athens. I didn't know it was famous for ghost stories until now. After tonight, I started looking. Turns out, there are dozens of tales about haunted dorms and strange events on campus. But this wasn't just some urban legend anymore. This was happening to my daughter. It started 2 weeks ago. 2 nights in a row, around 2:30 a.m., she and her roommate were startled awake by a loud, metallic clanging inside their room. Not outside. Not in the hallway, inside. They got up. Looked everywhere. Nothing was out of place. Nothing had fallen. Nothing to explain the noise. The third night, it escalated. She was lying in bed, trying to fall asleep, when she heard it, breathing, a rapid, raspy breath right in front of her face. No more than a foot away. She sat up fast, heart racing. "Why are you breathing like that?" she asked her roommate. Her roommate replied, just as alarmed, "I hear it too. But it's not me." As soon as they acknowledged it, the sound vanished. After that, they started sleeping with the lights on. TV playing. Anything to push back the silence. For a while, it worked. Until tonight, her roommate was asleep. My daughter was sitting up in bed, working on a paper on her laptop. The only light in the room came from her screen. She said she finished her last paragraph, closed the lid, and laid back. Within seconds, the mattress shifted. Something was on the bed, not her roommate, not a blanket slipping, a weight. A clear, human-shaped weight, pressing down beside her, and then she felt it, a hand, palm first. Then fingers, wrapping around her hip. She screamed. Jumped out of bed, flicked every light on in the room, but of course, there was nothing there. That's when she called me. Crying. Panicked. Asking me what she should do. I didn't have answers. I've never dealt with anything like this. But I believe her. I told her tell it to leave. Say it out loud. You're not welcome here. Through sobs, she repeated what I said. I could hear how scared she was, her voice shaking. It broke my heart. She ended up sleeping in a friend's room for the night. I half joked and asked if she left her poor roommate behind. Turns out, her roommate's even more terrified. I spoke with my daughter again later. She said it was only 1 minute between closing her laptop and feeling the hand. The pressure on the bed came from the side against the wall. Her roommate said she never wants to be alone in that room again, says she constantly feels like she's being watched, and now, whatever it is has started to touch. The boundaries are gone. I told them, keep the lights on. Keep the noise going. Thankfully, my daughter comes home for spring break in 3 days. But what happens when she has to go back?